In the shadowed highlands of Hunan, the earth turned against its own. A landslide, violent, merciless, ripped through the mountainside as the world lay asleep. What started as a faint murmur, barely enough to rouse suspicion, soon grew into a deafening roar that shattered the silence. Whole hillsides disintegrated, forests vanished, homes and histories were buried beneath a suffocating wave of mud and stone. Some families were lost mid-prayer, others sat at their dinner tables. Children drifted in and out of sleep, unaware of the disaster moments away. And in seconds, it was all gone. What followed wasn't stillness, it was the silence of unimaginable loss. Further downstream in Wenshan City, once peacefully perched along the Panlong River, the destruction left behind resembled a battlefield. Where laughter once echoed and bicycles weaved through narrow lanes, roads were torn open. Cracked buildings stood like broken shells. A lone delivery truck teetered on the brink of a collapsed road, its headlights casting eerie beams into an emptiness where its driver had disappeared. The air was thick with the scent of diesel, wet soil, and sorrow. Scattered across the mud were remnants of life, a child's toy caked in dirt, a shattered teapot, a twisted bicycle frame, each one a whisper of what was. For weeks, locals had pleaded with authorities. They showed widening cracks, sagging roads, shifting walls. They asked for safety checks. They begged, but their voices were ignored.
Don't let your camera get wet. Oh my god, it's hitting our building. Oh my god!
Drowned in bureaucracy and disbelief. Then came the rain, not gentle, not life-giving. This was a predator cloaked in clouds. Across southern and central China, rain no longer nourishes. It destroys. Rivers overflow like unleashed monsters. Cities drown. Streets become rivers. Buses bob like paper boats. Families climb to rooftops, rain clawing.
水越来越大，滨江公园这里全部被淹了。
At their heels. In Shanfang, Hubei, 300 millimeters of rain fell in just 6 hours. Markets collapsed, schools went under, hospitals lost power. More than 18,000 residents fled into the darkness, their path lit only by flashlights in desperation. In Hunan, another storm struck, fierce and fast. 230 millimeters of rain poured down in just 3 hours. Too quick for alerts, too cruel for escape. Entire villages were consumed by sludge and water. Rescue teams trudged waist-deep through raging waters, gambling with their lives to pull others to safety. Songjiang was hit twice in 1 week. The second flood struck as people were still drying out family photos and digging furniture from the muck. Sandbags melted into nothing. 6 lives were lost. Hundreds remain missing. And the deepest wounds, they aren't visible. They live in memories. Children now cry out in fear at the sound of rain. Elders refuse to return, haunted by the faces they couldn't save. In one shattered village, parents now write emergency numbers on their children's arms with permanent marker, just in case. A mother stood in the rubble of what used to be her home, holding her daughter's soggy stuffed toy. "We're not living," she whispered. "We're just waiting for the next one." These words echo through the valleys of devastation, capturing the raw truth of what thousands now face. Homes can be rebuilt, roads can be repaved, But trust, safety, hope, those take longer to return if they return at all. Storm after storm, the cycle repeats. Each time, families have less to lose and more to fear. Children's laughter has turned to silence. Emergency drills are now daily rituals, and parents tuck their children in not with bedtime stories, but with evacuation plans. Experts call it climate crisis. Survivors call it life now. In the backdrop of each flood, a bigger storm brews, one of broken systems, delayed responses, and communities forced to fend for themselves. If these cries go unheard, the next flood won't just drown towns. It will wash away the last fragments of faith people have left. Because for many, the question is no longer if disaster will strike. In the mountainous corridors beyond Guangdong, fresh landslides erupted across Yan, Tianyuan, and Suyong. Near the G318 highway, a massive collapse buried 3 trucks and a motorbike under a wave of rock and earth. Rescuers fought through rubble for hours, pulling survivors from twisted metal, but 5 lives were lost before help could arrive. In Tianquan County, heavy rains caused a home collapsing night while families slept. Several conclusion.
哦，什么不休息啊？走了啊！